Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. Really excited for today's video. The beer is courtesy of Billy. Thanks so much, Billy. I really appreciate it. This is one, when I was doing the unboxing, I'm like, this looks like they're going for like Bigfoot, like it with, made out of spices and stuff. And that's exactly what this beer is. It's from Sierra Nevada, and it's part of their limited release small batch series called FOMO, which is very appropriate. And it's a spiced, barrel-aged Bigfoot, so barley wine style ale, aged in bourbon barrels with nutmeg, orange peel, clove, and cinnamon. It's coming in at 13% ABV, 90 IBUs. What we brewed: a beastly winter sipper featuring multiple vintages of Bigfoot. Oh, that's cool. I didn't read this part when I did the unboxing. Up to 7 years in hibernation. Blended and finished in bourbon barrels on mulling spices. Chinook, Cascade, and Centennial. And then for malts, two-row, pale, caramelized. 13%, already said that. And this looks like December 10th, 2021. So December, January, February, like 4 months old. But yeah, I'm super excited for this. This is how excited I am for this. I actually was going to do a stout, probably a bourbon barrel-aged stout. And I was walking down here. I'm like, nah, screw that. I got that spiced Bigfoot. I'm going barley wine. All right, so almost exactly one finger of a dark khaki head. Small bubbles, but they're starting to break up into some medium and large size bubbles. The beer itself there's some brown to it, but it has a lot of red. You can see through it a little bit, but not, it's certainly not, like a Pilsner or something, like a filtered Pilsner. But it is not like a stout either. It's definitely, somewhere between those two, what's the right term? The see-through ability is somewhere between the two. Anyway, let's get to the important thing: how it smells and how it tastes. Man, you get those spices. Wow. Wow. That is a trip. That works really well. So you get big, sweet caramel raisins. I get some bourbon already. And then the way the spices are, it does kind of like... Yeah, it totally reminds me of like making like hot apple cider or something with those spices in it. And then there's just this like sweet... Man, I hate to say sweet spiciness, but that's really what it is. I mean, I know what spice is specifically, but it kind of smells like a ooey gooey, sticky, sweet bread with some sort of like brown, sugar, cinnamon, glaze on top, maybe with some raisins and things like that, and then like a little orange zest on top. So it's got like the baking, like the baked goods that way because of the spices, and then there's the sweetness and the caramel from the base beer and that bourbon. Not getting the like Bigfoot hops, at least not yet. Maybe in the taste. Man, we're going to file that under, beers that should be turned into a candle, like a scented candle. That smells fantastic. Wow. Wow. I kind of just want to keep smelling it. All right. Cheers. Thanks again, Billy. Wow. So the hops do come through in the taste, which they did not in the aroma. And this is kind of mind-blowing. The huge piney thing, like it's kicking out because of the hops, works well with everything I said about the aroma that's in the taste. You have like this, sticky caramel, but then there's a little bit of molasses in the taste, and then it kind of like, almost like the molasses thing acts as a gateway from the caramel to this like piney resin sap, you know, like sticky to sticky to sticky, but different things, you know. That's a trip. The spices there, not overly done. It's not like you only taste the spices, so I really appreciate that. The aftertaste disagrees with me because I do have a lot of the spices on the palate, but the sip, really nice. It smells like Christmas, because maybe not because I have some on the taste. I do get a little bit of pine in the aroma, but again, like these baking spices, sweet things like caramel, a little bit of vanilla, which makes sense with a barrel. And I've said this in a lot of reviews that have cinnamon. It can be overdone. It's not here. It works so well with the others. Same thing with the orange. And it kind of makes sense, the orange mixing with some of those, you know, what the hops are kicking out, you know, the non-pine stuff, I'm getting the orange. The warmth in the chest, this warmth in the aftertaste with those spices, again, I mean, it very much is just like Christmas in a blender turned into a beer. Like I said, you know, I was really excited to try this beer, and excited because, like, what is this? Partially, you know, and that, like, what is this part of it? It's like, it's just surprising how well this beer lands for me. It really is. I mean, the taste, you don't get the alcohol. You get a little bit of that oak finally. And like, I think it really is with the baking spices where I'm getting some of the bourbon, like specifically bourbon, but it's not a ton. Again, this aftertaste, the finish and the aftertaste, slight warmth of alcohol, like whispers of alcohol, not warmth, whispers. With everything else going on, I want to keep sipping and explaining because there's just so much. And yeah, like that, almost like rye or brown bread, bran, like a bran muffin, like it has that component for sure. It kind of like makes me want to, the next time I make like mulled cider, add like maybe some rosemary to it, like that piney thing. I know that's not exactly like pine needles, but just trying to think like what spices I have at the house, like, wow, or herbs, whatever rosemary falls under. I'm in love with this beer. This is fantastic, and it hides the alcohol really well. So thanks again, Billy, man. Seriously, this is so good. This is just so good. Have you guys had this beer before? I doubt it, but have you had a beer that sounds similar to this before? Let me know in the comment section below. Like, I love chai lattes, and you know, I have some of the same spices as that. I love barley wines. I love the bourbon barrel aging. Like, this is just hitting a lot of things for me. So yeah, it's really good. So anyway, anything related, comment section below. Get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure to check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So always, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.